Right, guys. Hello. Welcome back. So I've just finished my site meeting and site measure out here in Raglan or Teuku. So that one went well. We're gonna start this job. It's another conversion of an existing garage into a habitable dwelling. So the measure took about the whole thing took about an hour. I think I got here at about 2 o'clock. So it's now about 3, just 3:15 in the afternoon, and I'm headed back to Auckland. So it's another day on the job. Hey, look at that view. Man, living out here in the country, that's why I turned on this camera, so that I could just show you guys the views. Look at how living out here in the country looks like. So I did a site measure, measuring the existing building, taking measurements of everything, the internal measurements. It's a steel structure, which is made with portal frames and steel horizontal steel girders. Steel guts, actually, horizontal steel guts, and cladded with vertical corrugated metal. So I had to sort of get all those measurements, and then internal measurements. They want to turn it into a habitable dwelling, about 2-bedroomed or so. So yeah, I finished. Certain measurements and existing is always a tedious job. But then I'm gonna go get a council property file from council, and then I'll just double check those measurements as well, that they are correct, what is existing and what was filed in council. And then I will start working on this.
Turn left onto Hauroto Bay Road.
I almost took the right turn.
In 500 meters, turn left onto Waikato Road.
Yeah, so guys, it's back to Auckland. I think another GPS tells me it's another hour 31 minutes. So you're gonna have to bear with me and my ranch. So I'll be getting to Auckland about 5:10 or about 5:15. That's my ETA. It's a Friday evening. There's a couple of things going on. There's a Christmas in the park out there in Pukekohe, where I'll be going. So I'll just get home
Take the next left onto Waikato Road
and get into go have a look at the Christmas show at the park. It's always nice. It's always a thing to look forward to.
Continue on Waikato Road for 1 kilometer.
Look at the views, guys. This is amazing. Wow. I love this. Living out here in the countryside sometimes is actually good for these guys. These guys must really love it. At some point, you always think, I might just come out here as well, buy some land out here, come and live out here in the countryside, rear some chicken and goats and cows, soft life, guys.
Meters, turn left onto State Highway 23.
So we'll be back on the State Highway in a few. Hopefully this time, this return trip, I'll take you through a different trip. I would like to go onto the highway, onto the main State Highway 1.
Left onto State Highway 23.
And hopefully that's where it will take me. Yeah, you see it's pointing me to Hamilton. Yeah, so we'll see. State Highway 23, and then hopefully I get onto 1, and hopefully my car charger is able to charge this phone. Is able to charge this camera, so we can enjoy a nice road trip together. You looking at the views and listening to my monologue, and I thinking about the interesting topics to talk about. As I try and channel my journalism and storytelling talents. Hopefully the ones my literature teacher saw in me many years ago. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what story I'm gonna tell you guys. Farming in New Zealand, tourism, that's so common. Why I do what I do, just for the love of it, really. Yeah, nothing much. What are the plans for next year? What has this year been? Any achievements? Well, I would say this year has been very interesting, really. On all fronts. I'm grateful for this year. I started a YouTube channel. Been working, doing some work here, doing projects, finishing projects on time. There's a lot to be grateful for. But then this YouTube thing, to me, I think being a researcher is more like a social experiment. I actually want to know what happens. I'm curious to know who is interested in this sort of content, and how far it will go. I have no intentions of quitting to make content. I have every intention of making content, interesting content of all kinds. And actually, let me take this opportunity, now that I have this opportunity, let me take it to explain to you guys why I decided to start a YouTube channel. Yes, in my first introductory video, if you remember, the very first video, guys, go back and have a look. I said I was going to be covering design and construction issues, and that is the primary reason I started this YouTube video, because I wanted to educate everyone, or the people who subscribe to this channel, about the design and construction industry, the inner workings of it. How do architects and designers come up with these plans? What happens on site? And that's why I take you guys to my sites, so that you can look at what we're doing. Whether we are constructing, all my videos you can see, I'm either taking you guys to site, or I'm from meeting a client, and I just generally tell you about the process of meeting a client, the things that clients are looking for from my experiences. I may not capture everything, but I try to capture the key things. And also, I imagine if I'm teaching in a class, what do I want my students to know? But I decided that because I'm no longer teaching at a university, then I'm gonna use the world. I'm gonna use YouTube as my classroom to teach this content that I know. So that's why I started this YouTube channel, so that I can teach the audience. If you're a homeowner, if you're a property owner and you want to do something and you don't know what you can do with your property, come to this channel. Turn on this channel, and you may just get ideas about how to add value to your property through utilizing your existing equity to do an extension that will earn you some income, whether it's an Airbnb or just a rental, or if you just want to do a granny flat for your parents or relatives or whatever. So this channel is really to give you ideas on how to improve your property through design and construction. If you are a fellow professional in the build industry, come on here, let's share ideas. Comment down below your own experiences. Happy to reply, happy to share with you as well. If you're a student of architecture or a student of design and construction, you're doing construction management or any other construction related course, planning, urban design, this is your channel. I'm taking you guys to real sites. We are doing real world practical things on site. I show you the tricks, what builders do, what to look for when you're doing a site inspection, for instance, how to add value to your client, how to present yourself to a client, maybe to get a job if you're starting out like I did, and generally just how to, start a small design and practice farm. This is what I do on a day-to-day basis. Getting out there, putting myself out there, and trying to make things work. If you are just an ordinary guy looking for entertainment, this is also your channel. I will be doing these monologues, or people call them podcasts. I'll call them driving monologues or driving podcasts sometimes, and just talk about any topic. Comment down below when I'm driving. Like I said, I like to keep myself awake and alert on the road, and one of the ways I do that is talk through, have a monologue with my audience. You're enjoying the scenery while looking at some good views in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and listening to some of the bits and pieces that I rant about. So that's the reason I started this channel, just to share my knowledge and experiences day to day with my audience. So I'm targeting a specific kind of audience that has the same interests as I do. Love nature, love construction, love a banter. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We're just easygoing and stuff. So this is your channel. If you're driving, you can listen to it. So yeah, and comment down below and tell me what topics you would like me to give an opinion about or talk about anyway. I'll do my research and I'll come back with material that I can share with you. Guys, this is a very familiar route to me now. When we were going to the meeting, I didn't know that back route, but this is the main Raglan route that I normally take whenever I come out this side. It's very nice, it's very scenic, and so enjoy the views, guys. Yeah, so I started this channel basically for those reasons, and I'm curious to know how it gets on. I'm not looking to be a YouTube sensation or anything. I thought I should just share this knowledge, what I know, with people, and also learn from others. So if you are out there interested in this sort of content as well, and you're doing this kind of content, reach out. Let's do it. Let's collaborate if you like, and let's just keep going. Yeah, so that's me right there. That's why I started this channel. What else? Gee, these roads are always windy. But hey, see guys, because I know this route, at least I can go a bit faster than when I was going to the site. But because at least I'm familiar with this bit here, I can go a little bit more faster than I was when I was coming before. Even though it's this windy and curvy, now I'm just going uphill. It's windy and curvy, like, gee, it's quite. But again, it's New Zealand, guys. This country is ruggedly beautiful. You can't imagine. See bikers over there. very beautiful scenes, guys. Yeah, it's a very interesting road trip here. So every time I've decided so I'm gonna be varying the content. So some of the content I'll be doing will be like a car podcast, a driving podcast. I'll pick a topic, any topic under the sun really, and just talk about it while I'm driving. Keeps me awake. And let me know if you like that sort of content. And then whenever it is I get to a site, I get to one of the sites that I'm doing, then I will show you what we are doing on site. So that will be construction content and what you need to look out for, or just enjoy what we're seeing, what we're doing, how a building gets onto the starts onto the paper and comes out alive onto a construction site. So I'll be showing you that. And then of course when I'm going back from the side again, we do another podcast on a different topic, that you might wanna discuss. I do have quite a number of topics and opinions on some other topics. So if you like that, let me know. And yeah, basically just to keep you guys company and to keep me company as well. Whether you're going to work, coming from work, going for a road trip, turn on this channel and you enjoy knowing a little bit more about New Zealand. Slightly over 5 million people in population and counting. Auckland alone is the largest city in New Zealand. Actually, let me tell you guys about the New Zealand, the history, not the history, just generally some general information about New Zealand. If you decide that you wanna come here, immigrate here, or come visit as a tourist, a lot of people ask me, where do you live in New Zealand, and how is New Zealand? So for those who know, just general knowledge that you can find on Wikipedia, New Zealand is a country in the South Pacific. It's composed of two islands. There's the North Island and there's the South Island. North Island is where the capital, the commercial capital really for New Zealand is, and that's Auckland City. And Auckland City has about slightly over 1.2 million people and counting. And the South Island, which is where the administrative capital, the administrative capital of New Zealand is not in the South Island. It's in Wellington, which is on the southern part of the Northern Island. Yeah, Wellington is the admin capital and is on this bottom southern part of the North Island. And Auckland is really somewhere in between, up north but not far north. And the South Island, which has some of the most famous cities in the South Island, like Christchurch. You have Dunedin, which is basically a university city. You have Queenstown, is a famous tourist city. Yeah, so I've been to Queenstown. It's very beautiful. If you're in New Zealand, make an effort to visit Queenstown. It's beautiful. And Lake Wanaka. Wanaka is amazing. I love Wanaka. I've been there. It's great. So yeah, so that's two islands, South Island and North Island. Two very different climates. North Island is a very tropical-ish, kind of cool climate, warm. And I love it because it reminds me of Nairobi and home, where the temperature range is not that much. It gets cold in winter, but colder than Nairobi or whatever, but it's not as cold as the South Island. South Island is really cold, and people tend. You always get snow. It's tropical. It's typical Western climate, South Island. It gets very, very cold, like up to negative sometimes, 0 degrees, etc. And they get snow. So what happens sometimes is that you get the Australians coming to New Zealand and they go to the South Island to see snow for the first time, because Australia doesn't get snow, which is a weird thing, because like you come out to the South Island to go and look at snow. Well, to each their own. So that's one fact about New Zealand. 2 islands with very different, slightly different climates. Christchurch